All right, good early afternoon, everybody. It is Sunday, 5th of July, 12:28 p.m. in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. And good afternoon, Brother Jack Dawson, first one in the ballpark or the virtual whatever. Um, man, that heat wave starting to break last night, it was crazy. So, like during the day, it's like near 100. And then I was driving out down to a club just to do some magic, just, whatever, keep the chops going. And man, these storms like came through, and I mean, big old trees like snapped in half and stuff. It was insane. It looked like a tornado went through here. It wasn't, but it was pretty incredible. Today it's a little bit more comfortable. It's 84. Just a day or two ago we were at 103, so 84 feels like nice, just nice. All right, this is our comments about comments, and we'll do that. Also, just kind of waiting. There's supposed to be two kind of drops today. One for the larger community, Pocket Pennant Run. Paul Fay did say that that was signed off, so I'm hoping Craig Harris releases that this afternoon or this evening. It's been 1,000 years, it feels, since a Pocket Pennant Run update has dropped. So looking for that. And also, there's going to be a new release candidate for Game Pulse Payoff Pitch. So looking for that as well, so that you guys can see what has been going on as far as just the hard work that Dana has done. Spent my morning just setting up ballparks and stuff for a franchise, uh, a great franchise league that I had finally found again in the baseball history collection. So, gonna do some mess around with that because you guys know I love those all-time leagues. Samuel Smith joining us. He says, "Happy Sunday." Mentioned moving to the Netherlands. Mediterranean is better. Italy or Greece. They have blue zones where everybody lives well into their 90s, healthy diet, and everybody walks. Yeah, the Mediterranean's excellent. Half Italian, so grew up kind of raised on that great food and that great ethic. However, the reason I'm going to the Netherlands is for the best reason possible. More news on that later, and maybe even some, a little bit more than that. But yeah, definitely Mediterranean diets, Mediterranean lifestyles are excellent. And when I lived in Europe before, what was interesting is one of the things you didn't see, and had nothing to do with like regulations or anything, but you didn't see all these sort of, you know, commercials about this medication and that medication and da 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 da. In fact, when I lived in the Netherlands before, there was just always there's a company called Durex, and so they make these like massage oils and other stuff to make happy times even more spicy. And their tagline was very simple: Durex, love sex. Right? I mean, that was it. Really, there was nothing about diabetes, heart disease, da da da, anything like that. Right? So I got here to America, and the people I'm staying with, I was watching television with them a little bit. First few weeks I was back, and it struck me how just how many drug commercials there were for this, for that, and all these side effects, if like one, I don't remember the name of the medicine, but whatever, but it's like, and if you're allergic to blah blah blah, don't take it. It's like, okay, no shit, right? But you'd have that interspersed with these fast food commercials, and it's like the media just is like, whatever, we're about the money, so we're going to tell you, hey, we've got this great diabetic medication, and then, right, then the next commercial is about get your super sized, area code sized Whopper with chips dripping with grease, and make sure to get your triple sugar 92-ounce small size soda. So, yeah, pretty crazy, pretty crazy. And so I'm not picking on Well, I sort of am, because it's just like it's incredible. It's like a nation of pills, and in the European Union, so in countries like Italy and Greece, the Netherlands, Germany, France, the Scandinavian countries, the healthcare over there is so good, but you are an active member in your own healthcare team. And I'll tell you what, man, guys, when I was over there, doctors will rip you a new one if you're not doing what they've instructed. They will. They don't mince words. The other thing is, like, so if you're seeing a GP and a specialist before your meeting, right before your appointment with your doctor, they've already discussed what's going on with you, and as a patient, and it's incredible. It's really, really incredible. So, and taking that more holistic understanding that you're responsible. And you couldn't be more correct, Samuel, about the Mediterranean diet. And that includes Arabic countries as well. So olive oil is so good for you. And I remember laughing some years ago, the American Medical Association came out with this thing. Red wine in moderation is good for you, and olive oil is good for you, and garlic is good for you. And I'm like, okay, the Italians and the Greeks, and the what would be now the Iranian people, but we'll just use the term Persians, right? The Persians and the Arabs, they're all saying, "Hold my beer," or in the case of Muslims, since they're not allowed to drink, "Hold my lemonade," whatever. I don't know. Um, and it's like, okay, we've known this for thousands of years. These countries have known this for thousands of years, and it's like now the American Medical Association says these are good for you. Um, Man, I mean, I know, like, my family on both sides, the Irish side, very long lived too. Um, but I remember, like all my older relatives working out in their gardens, and I'm not talking about puttering in little gardens. I'm talking about major damn gardens with tomatoes and peppers and all that stuff in the hot weather, and just working all day. And you come in, and you had yeah. So it kind of cracks me up. It cracks me up. But that's the person with whom I'm going to be with over there. We're both very, very health conscious in that way. So, and we both love Mediterranean food. So that's good stuff. TV drug commercials interrupted by programming. Yes. The United States is extremely anti-health nation centered around cars, a stressful, failing job market, and drugs. Yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, people don't even walk on an escalator; just stand still. I know. So when I'm on an escalator, like in an airport, or even if it's just whatever, I don't stand. In fact, it's not only for the health thing and getting a little cardio in, but it's also just about I like kind of like flying up escalators. It's fun, and when you're in an airport, you have to, because if you're in a large airport like O'Hare or Atlanta or JFK or whatever, man, if you're gonna wait on an escalator to get you, and if you have to be at another gate in 25 minutes for your next flight, you're not gonna make it unless you haul ass. You gotta haul ass, man. Anybody that's flown long distance domestically or flown internationally, you know what that's about. All right, let's get to comments about comments, and then we're also going to talk about. I'd like to talk a little bit more today, if you guys are into it, about the recent release of Digital Diamond Baseball, um, and whatever else. It'd be fun. So first up here is Bill Horman. So he's the reason that I did yesterday's broadcast. Because you guys know I've done a lot of tutorials on the ballparks, logos, player photos. But as I said yesterday, I don't like to tell people, oh yeah, I did a video of that 2 years ago, or broadcasted that 2 years ago. I don't want to put people through that shit. And I figure the people that have heard it before, they can just go on to something else, and that's nice. I do want to take a moment to really, again, on behalf of the community, thank both VL and Andy, um, for their superb ballparks done in AI. And I did a pretty good rant on AI yesterday, and why it's not a bad thing. So get those ballparks. Hopefully, if you were here yesterday, you did get the links to those. If you didn't, if you're in the Discord, You can get them in the Discord. You can also go back and just look at the live chat. These ballparks are exquisite. They really, really are. So anyhow, Bill says, because Bill was a person who asked in the Facebook Action PC group, he says, this was outstanding and so generous. I can't thank you enough. Well, you are welcome, my friend. So you get a thumbs up and a heart. Boom. Brother Jack Dawson. Brother Jack Dawson, this is 2 weeks in a row now that he's doing 1992. So, Jack, I don't know how many projects, and I love it. I don't know how many projects you have going on, but I appreciate you keeping me up to date. And you know, Derek Bain, man, as I mentioned Digital Diamond, there's Derek. Derek, how are you doing, buddy? It is so good to see you. I know we were supposed to work together on the thing for Saber. I've had so much shit going on. I'm sorry, man. So we know Derek here. This is it's a rare treat and always a treat though to have Derek on here. Derek is he's the man. He's the honcho in the Saber sports game simulation committee on Saber. This guy knows baseball up, down, left, right, sideways, north, south, east, west. You name it. Right, ascension, and declination. And he caught the broadcast that we did on Digital Diamond and some of the little things that I was talking about. And so Derek had also offered some more suggestions. So I'm very, very hopeful that Mark will heed those, because, you know, Derek was mentioning to me yesterday in Messenger that he has a lot of libraries, and moving those libraries over and recreating them and the way you have to do it is cumbersome. That's really even more than the audio in Digital Diamond, which I said I turn off. That is like my biggest thing. It's like, oh my God, I've got to set this all up again. Whereas Action PC Baseball has just spoiled me, as has Out of the Park Baseball. It's like one click, boom, and it's done. So I hope that will, I hope that's something that will be implemented. And also the outs thing. Ugh. Make the first one red, please. That was throwing me off. So Derek, hope you're doing well, and you know, your projects that you're doing with Saber. I know that you're working on a new book. No publication date for that, but always good. And by the way, for those of you who do have Digital Diamond Baseball, Derek has done some has done some leagues for that, roster sets, whatever. So we'll go to digitaldiamondbaseball.com. That's where you'll find those. And there's a lot of other people who've done some cool stuff there. George Curcio, or Curcio in Italian. I have two of them up there myself. But Derek's stuff is really, really, really good. So get them, download them, install them, play them, love them. Also, do check out Derek's channel. You talk about tutorials, and I always like to try to sort of highlight what I think each content creator does. And Mr. Wrestling's another one I'm going to highlight here in a minute. He says, have some questions about Digital Diamond. Also want you to pick at your Digital Diamond 14 SI video. I will. And in fact, if I have your permission, after we go through this, I'll stop the screen share, re-enable it, enable sound, and if I have your permission to do that, we can cross-stream it in here. Okay? So we'll get to that. Definitely. Welcome in, cousin. I have to check and make sure if you have a shield. I've been lax on not getting people their shields in here, making you moderators and stuff. So Derek's channel, and Derek, what he does, and on his own website, the best tutorials. I know people, you know, a lot of us do tutorials on what have you, but Derek's tutorials are on a whole nother level. And so chances are you have the game, you know, Derek's done deep tutorials on it. I've learned a lot from his tutorials on games that I've played for ages, and I'm going to be going back to revisit them too, you know, like setting up draft leagues and things like Old Time Baseball and Baseball for Windows. You know, the work that he's done, Digital Diamond Baseball, all this stuff. I mean, it blows my mind. Just not only his, you know, his acumen for these games and his understanding of baseball simulation, but the way in which he conveys that knowledge, the way he presents it. It's, you know, I never asked Derek if he was, you know, an educator, but he should be, and just the absolute best tutorials, and very easy to follow. It's like he has this real. It's kind of a just intuitive sense of what somebody is going to ask, and you know where he rivals. I mean, because I do all my stuff live, but Derek does it in such a way that he can anticipate the questions, and it's excellent. So do please check out his YouTube channel, and also, you know, we'll bring up his website today too, if you'll be so kind once again to, at some point here, maybe put in the link. You will find a wealth of information. Also, his books. Mr. Wrestling is in here, so Mr. Wrestling is doing some really, really super cool things right now with announcers. And, you know, we've been saying forever and ever and ever that if Out of the Park Baseball would put in a play by play, put in an announcer, it would be. I know some people want manual entry in that game, but guys, that I just don't. That's not going to happen. Out of the Park Baseball is proudly digital, and I think it should remain so. But the work that he's doing with announcers, it's incredible. And you know, again, Marcus Heinsohn had said a few years ago, it was right before he stepped down. He said, you know, once AI becomes a little bit more viable, we're going to definitely look into that. And even John Herson has talked in a recent interview, and Derek, I believe it was with you guys. I believe it was on the Saber Games and Simulations YouTube channel, that John Herson said that they do want to look into that, because it's not feasible anymore. You know what I mean? Ernie Harwell did it. Nobody knows what he was paid, whatever. Even the Miller brothers didn't remember. But, you know, it was a different time back then, you know, when Harwell was doing these things. Could you imagine what somebody like John Miller, as much as he loves the hobby, I mean, you know, I don't think neither John Herson nor, you know, Com2 US, which owns Out of the Park Developments, I mean, how do you pay? You wouldn't be able to pay these guys, but with AI, you can create some great announcers that wouldn't sound like ones that you recognize. But what Mr. Wrestling's doing is incredible, and the method by which he's doing it would be, I think, a very sort of viable solution for Out of the Park Baseball, and for any other game out there that allows sound input, because he's not just doing snippets of um, of right, just putting little samples in, which really dress games up. But I remember the first one I'm watching from the Out of the Park Baseball, I'm like, holy shit, this is like, and I think it was I think he was doing, I think it was Ernie Harwell. I'm like, how's he doing this? And now it was funny because I have like one of the things that he uses to do that, but it just didn't strike me. So another great one to check out right there. Excellent work. Derek says, appreciate you sharing your channel tutorials. You're not an educator, just passionate about the subject. Try to base your tutorial commentary around questions I or others might encounter. And you do it masterfully, my friend. You really, really, really do. So, again, you know, like the baseball for Windows draft thing. It's like, okay, yeah, man, I've been, I wanting to get back into that once things get a little bit more settled for me right now. But excellent, excellent stuff. Samuel Smith, though, he doesn't have a channel. Samuel should have a channel. It's just, and I'm always telling people, you gotta have a channel. You gotta have a channel. Samuel has this great gift for finding these cool games and great bargains, and most importantly, baseball books, baseball films, and baseball historical resources. We'd love to have that. And so, man, what a great community we have. So, Brother Jack Dawson says, good morning, Brother Beatles. After 48 games, 1992 Pirates season, out of the park 27. He said, I was tired of losing, plus being in last place, so After so many, my brother, I'm done with it, but I'm moving forward. Started game one. Okay, so now we're doing 1988 Indian season. Honestly, for us, every opening day starts with a loss. I had 2 runs and I think 7 or 8 hits. Sad part is no strikeouts. The plan from now on, my main focus is my 1988 Indians on Out of the Park. Then mostly my 1976 White Sox replay on payoff pitch. Final score: Rangers 9, Indians 2. So the Indians off to an 0-1 start. That's all right, man. I love the fact that you keep me up to date on your projects. It's great. Chris Stark says, and he's talking about Action PC Baseball. He says, has anyone figured out a way to run this game on a Linux machine? Um, so right. So well, you get a thumbs up and a heart, and although I don't know that you're going to like the reply, so my is that Action PC Baseball runs in Visual Basic. Believe it or not, it's Visual Basic, and I don't know. I know there are Linux shells out there, but I don't know how they handle how those things run when you need specific DLLs and all those files that Windows needs natively. So I haven't heard of any way to do it. I know Linux is a great platform. It's super efficient, not bloated like Windows, but because it is a Microsoft Visual Basic game, I that would be quite a tall order. I think it would be if DK Sports had the budget to do it. I think it would serve them well because a lot of gamers are using Linux. So, so Chris, hopefully you catch this and you get the answer. That is not the big, it's not the official answer, but I have not heard of anybody trying it in Linux. But that being said, too, think about largely the demographic of our community, Chris, that most of the people that we have coming around here are not they're not primarily, and even if they are, but they're not primarily digital baseball sim players, although our ranks are growing. A lot of these guys are coming from Cards and Dice and all that, and they don't know Linux from Linus, and that's not an insult. So it may be that nobody's really, you have probably tried. But what I would suggest, Chris, is if you haven't yet, post in the Action PC Baseball forums, because even though I don't run Linux, I have a good friend of mine that does, and he's a baseball fan, and be neat to have that knowledge. All right, so guys, right here. So I'm going to put this up here for you right now. So he says, if okay, of course, Andy. Andy was here yesterday, and he and VL have done some beautiful ballparks. And let me just open this in a new tab. All right, so we're gonna take a few minutes, and we're gonna look at these again. Michael Peterson, how you doing? He says that he's going to get Digital Diamond 14. Got to transfer 2024 season. Not playing until I download it. Yeah, so it's a bit of work. So just make sure, Michael, that you copy all your ballparks, all your logos, your player picks into the new subdirectories in Digital Diamond 14, because I guess the way Mark has kind of written it, everything has to be in that directory. It's not going to look elsewhere. But yeah, it's gonna be fun to get your thoughts on Digital Diamond 14. I've kind of fallen back in love with the game. I'm gonna put this. Because I know not everybody here is a member of the Discord, so I do want to put this link in there, and I'll find VL's parks and put them in as well. I'm just gonna pick a few at random. So this is Dexter Park. Now, I don't know. Somebody tell me. I may know better what, because I mean he's using of course, the Abe Stark sign here and everything. I don't know. Is Dexter Park? Was this a thing in Brooklyn? Was this? I don't know, because this looks later. It's obviously not 19th century. But again, for people that are whining about AI, you're not going to get these kinds of photos. And while maybe there might be some things that are like kind of inaccurate, if you're telling me that you wouldn't use this ballpark in a game, then I don't know what you're smoking, because that looks incredible. I mean, if you're doing something here, so looking at these cars, I'm guessing, what, maybe mid 1920s, early to mid 1920s, whatever. But if you're doing something like that, so what does it says? Bushwick Baseball Club. Um, this kind of has a sort of a Polo Grounds vibe to it, at least for out there in center field. Certainly longer porches here. I don't understand the issue about it, about why you wouldn't want to use parks like this. I think they're great. Let's pick a couple other ones. Uh, yeah. So here's the South End grounds. Pretty damn nice. We were joking yesterday, trying we would see like a woman in the crowd, and so we were starting to count how many women we saw in the crowd. But that's nice. And both Andy and VL have run into the issue in the action, or on um, the Facebook group for Action PC Baseball, that these guys are putting. Mark Shaw also has done a ton of great ballparks, and these guys are just really really upset. Oh, this is AI slop. There's nothing wrong. This is nice. That's a nice ballpark, and I can think of a million uses for these. And something, and even outside of a game, I would just set these as a desktop wallpaper. They look great. Um, AI is here to stay. It's like any technology. Technology itself is amoral. It's how we use it and how we work with it. And I think there's nothing wrong. People have done great things. Bernie Strom, for instance, one of the elder statesmen of this family, of this community, he has taken box scores from games that he's done and had AI create these great game reports. Out of the Park Baseball generates everything like that. So, I mean, it's here. Baseball for Windows was a pioneer in AI. It's here to stay, guys. It's not going anywhere. John DFW, welcome in, man. Good to see you. Love these AI ballparks. No, you no. So that you don't have to subscribe to Flickr. You do not have to subscribe to Flickr. Just go and download them. The only thing you're gonna have to put up with is ads. But yeah, I mean, these are great. Mr. Wrestling says jackpot. Love this stuff about it. So, um, so you don't use Flickr. It's like Instagram. So, but this is a direct link just to the photos of the ballparks. That's all this is. So you're not going to find any things here, unless you go poking around. That, but yeah, just find a couple other. I'm just picking some ballparks at random. Look at this. We all know this. Yes, okay, that doesn't say Abe Stark, but we know what ball. Well, it says right there. I should have covered that up. That is a nice rendering of Ebbets Field. Okay, so yeah, it doesn't say hit it here when signed Abe Stark. I'm not going to kick about that, you know. Okay, the foul line there is doing a little tiny, but if you're playing the game, come on. Yes, there are great photos out there of Ebbets Field, but come on, man, this is nice. And I guess I'm saying is, look, it's your choice to whether you want to use parks like this or not. But you know what? If you're on the Facebook group, just don't be a dick about it. Just scroll past. How hard is it to move your index finger? But for me, and you can, by the way, there's a link, you can download these guys all at once. You don't have to go through every park and download them one at a time. Um, so what I could do, I'm going to ask both Andy and VL if I would have their permission. I can zip these and put them in the Discord for you guys if you don't want to go on Flickr. Once if I get their permission to do it, I'll zip them up and I'll make them available in the Discord, because I'm a paid member of Discord, and the reason I do it is so that I can upload things. That's why we got the baseball games and stuff like that. So if that cool, all right. Michael says today's off to Detroit and Texas at the Globe. All right, go Tigers. Tigers Tech School will back. I'd like to see them do a bit better now. Um, Baker Bowl. This is a nice Baker Bowl. It's just nice. Um, and I don't know. I just love looking at this. Even has that structure. Ken Castro explained to me what this structure was in Baker Bowl, and I forget what it is now. But anyhow, there it is. So guys, check it out and download. It's very very easy to do. But again, I'll ask Andy and VL if it's okay if I zip them. Um, John, of course, asking. He gets a thumbs up and a heart too. Any chance to do even more? And then look on Flickr for SDW1000. He has more than I do. Yikes. I might have to look there too. All right. Let's go to. This is funny. So, and I like this. This is nice. This is an Artie Rich video channel, which I subscribe to him. And he does a lot of good stuff. Please subscribe. He says, hi there. Do you have a schedule for your live streams? So, any of you guys have been hanging around, you know. That's probably the last thing in the world I have. He says, I've now signed up for notifications. Maybe YouTube will give me a heads up. So I should probably type a reply. I'm going to say, appreciate you. I'm not very organized. So I hope you do. You do get notifications. Sorry about this, guys. I'm a shit typist too. I hope you. Great to have you. Have you as a part of our insane family. Boom, boom, boom. Learn to spell appreciate. That's okay. There we go. It's the bad typing. Boom. All right. Oh, John, though, this is usually around 11 p.m. Eastern Time, but sometimes this is day stream like this. Yes, it's true. All right. Thanks, John. Okay. Worst looking photo of Forbes Field. Is that I don't know what we're looking at for Forbes Field. Oh, so the one I have, yes, that's like that's like ancient. That is that photo of Forbes Field has followed me around for forever. Yeah, John. Once I get there, no, man, there's nothing to be sorry. Are you kidding me? I've had that photo of Forbes Field for like 1,000 years, man. I get it. So, how do you get the fast action cards to appear? So you're not talking about just the oh, the one that comes with action piece. Yeah, yeah, it's not very good, is it? So no need to apologize. So yeah, John, if once I get their permission, if it's cool, if they're cool with it, because I don't know whether they get, for click throughs with Flickr or whatever, because Flickr's a video hosting thing or a image hosting thing. But if I have their permission, I will gladly. I mean, I have both the files zipped up already. I just don't want to do it without their permission. So are you talking? If you're talking about the fast action cards for, not just the player cards. So the only way that you get those is to appear is you have to be using the advanced seasons that you get from Derek Beckner. So, and I saw somewhere where he's calling himself Dirk Beckner, and I've been saying, well, I know a Derek Beckner who's a big baseball fan. So I hope that is the Derek Beckner I know, because I don't know him or know a Dirk Beckner, but regardless, great stuff. But that's what I'm told. Samuel, you would be able to corroborate that. I'm correct, right? So I know with Status Pro 4th Edition, when you're playing that, you get to see the player cards, but the fast action cards you're not seeing. But you if you turn on in the menu to show like what the engine's doing, you kind of see it as the play unfolds or right after the play unfolds. Yeah, John, you get a thumbs up and a heart, and if they had a laughing one, I would also do that. Forrest, our lone San Diego Padres guy, says don't need Status Pro Advance. He says includes every season of Status Pro 4th Edition. And right now it's out of necessity for me that I'm happy with playing. The fast action cards would be nice, and buying those seasons would be nice. And again, thank you to those of you who have offered to purchase some seasons for me. I really appreciate that, but I everything is just so expensive. You guys buy yourselves another season, and then you know what would be a wonderful thing? Just tell me, hey, how's the season going and stuff. And the more you tell me how it's going and how much fun you're having with it, then I'm like, okay, let me look at my finances and I'll buy a few seasons. But thank you for the kindness, guys. I really, really, it means a lot. Okay, Samuel Smith, who's this guy? Who is this guy? He says, I'm getting the Status Pro advanced files today digitally. He said, like I said, all charts are in Digital Diamond 14 right now. If you want to print that out and use it for board game companion, for the engine itself, you get text descriptions of what the engine is doing. Derek will supply you with any season you want. So it is the Derek I know, because now he's saying Derek, and that's how he spelled it too. There's no limit to 2025 only. The program is definitely worth having for the Advanced Status Pro engine. So those are the kinds of things that make me say, all right, and since I know Derek, I got to kick some bucks his way. I can't do it in the middle of the month, man. I get hit with car payment, insurance, and my credit's good, but I'm doing the American Consumer Credit Counseling thing, so that takes a bit of a bite right now. So, but I thank you guys so much for the kind offers. But I would rather you get some more seasons for yourself and then tell me about them in the broadcast. All right, VL. He says, hey man, get me a message on the last video, Digital Diamond 13. You're in Pennsylvania? That's where I'm from, Philly, then Central PA. But now he goes on here to say, my biggest beef with Digital Diamond is the fact that the ballpark is all squeezed up and there, and I spend all this time in ballpark picks that to me, it's a waste of time and annoying. You can make it slightly larger, but the UI in this game is so lame. The UI, there's a lot of information going on in Digital Diamond Baseball, certainly. And so I think, so I'm going to respectfully disagree for in-game. I think the way Digital Diamond Baseball is set up, it needs that UI for in-game. Where I find a problem with the user interface, though, and where I will agree with you outside of the images, is all the editors. They're just kind of everywhere, and I wish they could be, I don't know, I'm not asking them to change the design, but it'd be nice to sort of just color code so that things jump out, that I'm not just looking for text. That way, because I think as an artist, I'm very visual. And so for me, if it would be like, okay, green is going to be anything to deal with players. Blue is going to be teams. You guys get it, just to have that kind of, that's going to catch my eye. Sort of like with Game Pulse Payoff Pitch, when I said to Dana, this was back in an early beta, I said, could you just highlight the payoff pitch button? And so, yay, he did. All right, here's my buddy Hammer from the UK, my mate. And he says, great video, just wish I'd been around to watch live. This is a Pocket Pennant run. So I've been playing this game for the last few days and loving it so much. Best value for money game there is as far as I can tell. There's a few things I spotted from the game you were playing that I've got some questions on, like, how do you get the defense player card to pop up automatically, as that doesn't happen for me? Also, don't have the field guidelines and extra indicator dice. Or extra field. I'll draw Paul a line. And so you asked this 9 days ago. He says, thanks again, Beatles, for promoting this game. It persuaded me to install it. So happy I did. Cheers. Absolutely, mate. So that's his nickname. So I used to work with Derek at Penn State. He and I worked in different parts of Penn State. He used to work in reserves, electronic reserves. I was the map specialist. And then I moved from map specialist to Penn State's iTech team, which is information technology. And Derek took my job as the map specialist. And he and I used to go down, there's like a little area. I know that they've done a lot of work now in the library on West Petit, and there's a place we'd always go down there and smoke 6 or 7 times a day. I don't know if Derek still smokes or whatever, but it was all about baseball talk, just baseball. And Derek's the one that had got me into Diamond Mind, and he was also a big Strat player. And Boston Red Sox fan. There's a billion of you in this community. It's incredible how many Boston Red Sox fans there are. Derek's a great guy. And then, when I went off to the Netherlands and left Penn State, and then went off to the Netherlands, kind of lost touch, but briefly communicated back when I got back here in 2019. And I'd like to reach out to him before I go back there again, meaning the Netherlands, because this time I'm going back to stay. All right, so Hammer, if you catch this, here we go. The indicator lines that you're talking about, it's going to be easier to just bring this up really quickly. All right. So, and we're going to jump into a game because you have your questions. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and very quickly, we're not going to play a whole game, guys, so please don't run away. I just want to be able to answer these questions. Let's go to 1974, load the season, and we'll just go ahead and we'll just pick this Brewers Red Sox game, and boom. Okay, and just play game day. All right, so what you're seeing, if I move this window out of the way, you're seeing the field indicator lines and this, what you're calling a decider die. I'll explain what that is really quickly. So the reason that you're seeing these is because I'm playing PPR Advanced. I think what's happening is when you're playing the game, you're hitting Basic. So watch what happens with Basic. Those are gone. So those indicator lines, what this game has built into it would be these range plays for fielders and all these color coding things. Notice also that die is gone. So that's why you're not seeing them, Hammer. So if I go back up here, go to settings, I'm going to leave it at normal pitching, although this does have a great warm-up mechanism built into it. And we're going to go to advance. So advance, of course, batters tend to hit the ball to their pull side, switch hitters spray the ball evenly. Fielders must be positioned and may make range plays. So you can reposition fielders in this game. And then range plays are subject to defense penalty if speed is less than a blah, blah, blah. Okay. All right. Settings have been saved and now they're back. So so right here, he was talking about repositioning fielders, right? So Pedro Garcia kind of averaged there at second, but George Scott really good at first. So if we wanted to kind of help Pedro up here, for instance, right? So I can go to fielders, set fielder positions, and we can see that our first baseman is in zone 6. I'm going to put him in zone 5. Now, you are going to see some changes. Now, don't think that because we did that, this big gap means that balls, that Dave May's not going to get to them or Bob Calacio's not going to get to them. The game is looking at these zones, not kind of what you're seeing here. Okay? This die down here, I'm going to show you. We're going to go ahead and roll here. So Tommy Harper leading off here, and Jim Slayton deals. Okay, and of course no lines. So when the lines disappear, it's going to be a different than a ball in play type thing. So this is a defense check 10, but what we find, or I'm sorry, this is blah. So 3 defense. So this is infield. So how do I get it to pop up? I just click. And sometimes you got to hit them right in the middle, baby. And sometimes it just doesn't. Come on, Don Money. What's going on? This could be. There we go. I hit it. Again, the new drop today should be good. And I just look down here at 10, and I just see it's a ground ball 5-3. There's no runners on, so I don't pay attention to the asterisk. So just 5-3, 1 out. So let's get one here so that die comes up. And wow, holy hell. How often does this happen? All right, left, right, 9, and base hit. Okay, batter up. Okay, and the game's being weird now. Let me jump back out. So this game does get a little bit squiffy sometimes when you're just doing weird things like we're doing right now. I just want to be able to answer the question about the die. That's it. That's all I want to do. Okay, let's just try Phillies Mets. Just because now I'm being superstitious. And besides, these two teams love each other so very, very much. And then we'll get moving on to this. Okay. All right, so print play game. And play game day. All right, and we're just going to click... yeah, okay, let's go. Let's play ball. Let's play ball. All right. So all this die does is it just serves as a visual reminder of what zone. So there we go. All right. I think it was because I just did a little switch. So of course you're reading the dice left to right. You know how to play the game. So you're just seeing this indicator that is going to zone 4. This is zone 4. That's all that means. So again, so we read this. This is going to be off the left-right side because both are the same handedness, and it's a 4, and it's just a ground ball. It's just a 4-3 put out. That's it. But that's all that die does. And as long as you're playing advanced, you'll see these indicator lines, and that answers that question. So now we can close Pocket Pen Run Baseball. All right. Okay, so people talking about payoff pitch. This has been. There's been some the opinions on Game Pulse payoff pitch have almost been as polarizing and as passionate as the opinions on out of the park baseball. I've mentioned many times I've never really spoken with anybody who says, "Yeah, I like payoff pitch." People either love the game or hate it, and I'm finding that that's kind of what's going on with Game Pulse payoff pitch. I love it, and I really think that with the hard work that Dan has been putting into this, that again you get a heart and a thumbs up. Even though you don't like the game, you get a heart and a thumbs up. Let it sit for a while. They've got something excellent here, and just by virtue of the fact already that just as a board game companion with anything, that you can import the actual scores from any season, right? In Major League Baseball history, it is the first game to do that, so that you don't have to replay those games, so that you can in your replay the team or teams that you're managing, you get a real sense of that context of the season. You know what? In all the years I've been playing digital baseball sims, as far as stability, I've never had Game Pulse crash on me, by the way. But as far as stability, there's only 2 games that have never crashed on me, and that's Baseball for Windows and Diamond Mine Baseball. It's incredible. I've tried to break it. Okay. Let's do like all these videos. Do some Blender. Surf the web while Ernie's doing all this stuff, and it just laughs. It laughs. It's like, okay, whatever. Tight optimized code from back in the day. Old time baseball is another one too, by the way. So, but Robert here is saying, he says he was a chump too. So down here we'll get to Fred Stillwell's comment in a little bit. He says, hate to say it, one at this point, if and when it will ever be fixed, unfortunately. So things are being fixed, patched in this game all the time. I will concede this point. I do think that they released to Steam too early. I do think that. I think that had the release been done just on their own site first, and then gone to Steam when this thing was really, really ready for prime time, that I get that. But Robert, I'm going to respectfully disagree. You weren't a chump, because it's not like the game doesn't work. It's not like it plays a good game of baseball. The presentation is good. The board game companion is elegant. But you know what? If you try to create a board game companion and you think, and even with Pocket Pennant Run that I just had up there, to see how many things how that's evolved into recording just outs. There's so many play results in baseball and so many weird things that can happen. Yep. So Mr. Wrestling saying, yep, agrees on the release date, and that, I think that's what's hurting it. It's an excellent game, and yeah, definitely released on Steam too early, says John. And guys, I'm saying this as a beta tester. This is and I'm not attacking Dana or Joe Bryant or anybody else that was involved in whoever made the decision to release to Steam early. That was an error, and we were talking about that, guys. You remember, all of us were saying Steam, yikes, ooh, ooh, right? Because you're butting heads with. I mean, yep, I know Digital Diamonds on there, but the one you're butting heads with is Out of the Park Baseball on Steam, and it's done very well for them. But you're gonna go to Steam. I don't even know. Is this even marked as early access? Let's go to Steam and find out, guys. If y'all don't mind, let's have a look here. All right, because people are going to be right if you mark something as early access. Um, Game Pulse payoff pitch. There we go. Let me see. Did they label as early access? So this is the issue right here. Yeah, once you get negative, it's difficult to overcome it. There's been 7 user reviews right now. 2 thumbs down. Wait, 1, 2. Okay, and then 1, 2, 3. All right, so 3 thumbs down, 4 thumbs up. So this would be mixed reviews right now. The issue here, and I think with them maybe not understanding the Steam ecosystem, is people are going to forgive a lot more if you say this is early access, but not just in Steam. I think even on the Sideline Strategies games on their website, to say, guys, this is early access. And I think then a lot of people, because I do think that for some people they're feeling kind of, well, geez, I spent all this money and there's still patches coming out for it. Well, Hello Games had a disastrous release in August 2016 of No Man's Sky, and channels were actually created because the hype in that game, and when it came out, it wasn't what people expected. But I saw it, and I'm like, no, this is going to be something special. I'm going to let it just bake for a little while. And it's one of the premier PC games. It's one of the great comeback stories. 10 years of game size updates and content additions and everything to No Man's Sky. And all I can say, guys, is for Game Pulse payoff pitch, if you have under 2 hours on it and you think you're going to hate the game forever, get the refund from Steam. I don't know what Sideline does, but I would just ask, if you can, if you really don't need that 40 some dollars right now, you know what? Play your other baseball sims. Let Dana do his job. He's doing like 5, 6, 7 updates sometimes over a 6 weeks period or less. And remember, he's a solo game dev. Yes, yes, exactly. No Man's Sky and BG3, both of them. Yeah. So I think that you weren't a chump. You weren't a chump, and you're right, John DFW. It took years for No Man's Sky, but now if you look at No Man's Sky's ratings, but we're talking 10 years, and let's face it, they reach a much, much, much larger audience than we could ever hope to have in this hobby. Um, it's just insane. I do believe that it's a really good game that still needs patching, that still needs some work. But I'm I'm going to respectfully just admit it's not a like, I don't know, you guys are feeling like it, like, like, because I mean, to think about, if you're calling yourself a chump, right? So from my background in Magic and working in kind of carnivals and the other stuff that I did, we would use the term mark, not chump. You guys weren't marks, right? You bought a game, it turned out to not be what you wanted. I get that, but I'm hoping, and I don't get a penny from this. I'm not part of this team. I'm a beta tester, and I've voiced concerns. Paul Fay has voiced strong concerns about some things, and he's a beta tester also for Game Pulse. But you know what? At some point you're gonna be like, holy shit. Okay, I wasn't a chump. Now I'm ready to install this. This is running great. Let it stand by. It's not your other. If you're not going to return it, but please Give them a chance. Give them a chance. Um, Again, Dana is working really, 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 really hard, and it's this game is going to be a winner. It's going to be a winner, and in many ways, it already is. Again, just the way the board game companion works is incredible. All right, Philip Cruz. Just well, of course, now this is not 9 and 20 anymore, but you get a thumbs up and a heart there. Fred Stillwell says, and I'm gonna give him a thumbs up here. This one I'm not gonna give a heart on because this is a little bit, yeah, no, nothing, and I'll tell you why, Fred. So Fred says, I do wish the programmer who has a history of not knowing baseball. Okay, so that is why you don't get the heart because, you know, evidence or it doesn't count. Um, and even if he doesn't, you know what? Marcus Heinsohn, come on, from Germany. I mean, he got into baseball and loved it because of the statistics and loved the game. But um, I don't know. I mean, does if he the fact that he's a programmer, I think, is good. Obviously, or we wouldn't have the game. But this smacks of a bit of a personal attack on the developer or on the programmer. So, who has a history of not knowing baseball, would have been smart enough to get the baseball to be correct before he ever ventured out into the other nonsense. The AI ERA stuff is not needed. The AI era stuff is not needed. An entire auto replay and not one assist by an outfielder, ridiculous. Logos are not needed before you get the baseball correct. Each date, I run an auto replay of the 2025 season back to the no play list. Beatles, as you stated, put the game on the shelf. Yes. Fix the baseball. Forget everything else. There are beta testers, and then there are more game testers. The latter group are fools like me. You're not a fool, Fred. You're not. You're not. Okay, so for you, it's a waste of money. I respect that. I do. I respect that. But they're trying something here and taking some risks. And I understand the feeling of you feel like you're a game tester. And and I do think they've released too early, especially on Steam. Because Steam can be merciless. I've said it. John said it. Many of us in here said it. I wish they wouldn't release on Steam right away. Release to something like GOG or release to something like Epic. Because Steam is just big. And I think they would have gotten more visibility. But that said, yeah, there are issues. I've seen issues in just about every major baseball game there is out there. And I'm not saying that what you've experienced is wrong, or that you're wrong, or anything like that. But you make these great points, Fred. The reason I'm spending a little extra time on your comment is just Dana is obviously smart. He's obviously smart. He's not just sitting around and running things through whatever, some kind of little coding for idiots thing. Um, yes, okay. I mean, the logos aren't needed before you get the baseball correct. That's true. They're not needed, and I don't think that. But people were asking for the logos, and Dan was like, okay, put the logos in. All right. I don't sense that Dana was doing like, well, yeah, there's still some problems with the AI, but let's don't look at the man behind the curtain and let's put up the logos. So again, Fred, I'm not attacking you, but it's just that wording of saying, smart enough. I've had an opportunity to communicate with Dana, and he's smart. He's smart. Yeah, okay, so Poland doesn't have a great baseball history. Uh, you know, I don't even know if they play it in Poland, to be honest with you. So, but I do get that you have complaints, but keep it on the shelf for right now. I really predict it's going to come off your no play list. Okay. And let me just give Coffee Enough Network. This was 2 weeks ago. Just keeping up. Um, and then one for Mick. There we go. And one for Ron. And there we go. So boom, boom, boom. I think we got it. Having to buy the advanced season is nothing new. It's been this way for a couple years for Status Pro or for Digital Diamond. Ernie says it's worth the $12.50 price most of the seasons I play. Yeah, okay. Boom, boom. Great price. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Okay, so I think we got everybody now. Jack again down here. Thank you, Jack, for that. All right. There we go. All right. So, all that being said, Mr. Wrestling, you wanted to? Could you put the link to that video you're talking about, if you don't mind? Maybe we should show a little bit over here. Really appreciate it. So, for those of you that have Digital Diamond 14, including myself, what are you thinking? Has anybody tried out the Sports Illustrated baseball component of it? It's nice to have 2 games now that can play SI baseball. Thanks, Mr. Wrestling. Do you have a shield by your name first? Because that's the way you, and if you don't, I can just make you a moderator, and then you're set. You should have one anyhow. You've been in here a number of times. I just don't remember if I gave you one, and on this streaming platform I can't see. You do have one? Okay. Oh, there it is. Yep. Nice. All right. I'm going to unshare because I've got to put on the headphones and reshare, and we're going to jump into this. All right. So, boom. There we go. There's my tiger guy. I need to put a pirate hat on him. Okay. And let's do this. Oh, they're over here. I'm looking for the sound settings and on the other monitor. That was really stupid. I sometimes do stupid things. But anyhow, to Fred Stillwell and to Robert, you guys aren't chumps. You're not fools. You're not whatever. It's nothing like that. Just hang in there. Promise you, man. Game Pulse is going to be brilliant. It's going to be brilliant. All right. Hopefully you guys can hear me well enough. Let me just fix this. Boop. There we go. All right. Now we're going to be going and checking out Mr. Wrestling here. Let's copy this comment. Okay. And we just go and paste it over here. And here. All right. Let's check it out. What's going on here. I have to share the screen. Entire screen, and it's going to be this one, and share audio. Bob's your uncle.
The mantle for the out. Up to bat is Fregosi, one down here in the
Okay, so wow. Wow. Oh my god. Okay, so boy, heavily modded Sports Illustrated full game. Look at this. Well, I got to get a boom. Yeah. You did this 8 hours ago. I was still out doing magic at a club last night. So cool. Could you show your voice program to us? Okay, here we go. Listen to this, guys. And how did you... Boy, have I got questions for you, mate. What's all this sexy stuff over here? This looks beautiful. Are you going to share with the class how you did this? This is brilliant. Is this something that's in it's in there? I don't know. This is beautiful. Anyhow, let's listen to this broadcast. Holy moly.
top of the first.
Oh my God.
Stottlemyre rocks and fires. Fly ball to right field. Robinson is there, and he makes the catch for the out.
This is
now,
so
Mincher
cool.
strides to the plate. 2 down here in the top of the first.
Oh my God. Listen to that. There's even a crowd loop in there.
Stottlemyre
Whole
ready.
thing.
Here he comes.
Like it.
Ground
I
ball
love
to
it.
Stottlemyre. He throws it to Mantle. In time, Mincher is out. No runs, no hits, and nobody left on base for California. 1/2 in the books, and it's California 0, New York 0. Bottom of the first, California 0, New York 0.
Paul,
due up
this
for
is
New
awesome.
York,
Welcome
Clark,
in.
Ferraro, and
Look
Mantle.
at this. Derek's
And
very
that brings
impressed.
up Clark. Nobody gone.
Derek's hard to impress, too. Mr. Wrestling, this is brilliant, man. Wow. Yeah, it's some next level integration. No kidding, right?
Brunei rocks and fires, and that's high for ball 4. Ferraro steps in. Nobody gone here at the bottom of the first. Clark leads off first.
This is Digital Diamond 14, John. That just released. And Mr. Wrestling says, yeah, hold my beer. Watch this. So, at least this part down here, over here, says Digital Diamond Baseball, and this is the Sports Illustrated implementation, which I think is really, really nice looking. But I'm really enamored of this over here. I want to know it. I want to know it. But listen to the voice integration too. Mark Cohen doesn't even know that I exist, but I wish he would see this. So I've always said, but wow. I mean, about the audio, but listen to, wow. And this is sexiness, man. This is like Kate Beckinsale level sexy. Well, you know what I mean. Here we go.
Track 3.
They are keeping a close eye on the runner at first. Brunei turns, sets, and delivers. Got him looking. Pretty good pitch by Brunei. I'm not sure Ferraro could have hit it if he swung. Now here's Mantle, one gone. Clark is edging off the bag at first.
This is incredible. It really is.
A step off and throw to first. Safe. Clark gets back.
Wow. And I'm not just talking about the announcer. I'm talking about the whole thing. Like, let's listen to a little bit more here, guys, and watch a little bit more. And then let's get some opinions. I'll give you a little bit of opinions on the UI.
They are keeping a close eye on the runner at first. Brunei sets and deals. And that's just outside for ball 4, and Brunei doesn't believe it. He pounds his glove in frustration. Clark advances to second base. Switch hitting Tresh ready to face off against Brunei, staring him down. One gone. Clark is on at second. Mantle is edging off the bag at first.
Oh my God. This is so cool.
Brunette ready. Here he comes. And that's high for ball 4. Clark advances to third. Mantle advances to second base. Settling into the box is Robinson. One gone. The bases are loaded.
And he can't find the strike zone, apparently. Wow.
Brunei cranks and fires. Ground ball to third base. Fielded there by Shaw, and he throws to Mincher for the out. Clark scores from third. Mantle advances to third. Tresh advances to second base. Batting next for New York, Pepitone. 2 gone. Tresh perched out at second. Mantle creeping down the line at third.
All right, so thoughts, guys, share with the class. I'm absolutely, this is like this next level. So first thing, Mr. Wrestling, I mean, obviously I think we're all agog, gobsmacked, what have you. And Paul, welcome in, man. Welcome in. Hopefully you can see I've got everything shared over here. You guys are seeing the game, I hope, right? So I don't ever show me on here. So if you're on Facebook, you know what I look like. You don't have to see me. Right? Long-haired dude, whatever. So could we talk about this? Because this is like ultimate sexiness right here. I want to know about this over here, because this is not part of Digital Diamond Baseball. Did you program this? Poor Mr. Wrestling. I wish you'd come on the mic, man. I hate to make you do all this typing, but that's, it's up to you, man. Did you program this? Because this is freaking incredible. So, guys, the way this works, right, is he's got the proper Sports Illustrated and Sports Illustrated Baseball. Good game. I think Derek would agree with that. I'm hoping he would. This was a classic game, and I'm so glad that both Richard Dombrowski have brought it back and Dombrov Baseball, because that is SI Baseball, and now seeing the integration of SI Baseball into Digital Diamond. So you programmed this. He says, I have questions to figure out if we need this we need it for everything. I think this would be amazing for Status Pro. Yes. You programmed this thing. This is incredible. So, you guys, like, Sports Illustrated Baseball uses very, very special dice that if you do decide you're going to play SI Baseball, you can either use Pocket Pennant Run as your dice roller. Until I knew this existed, which now I would pay you for this. I would buy this for you, man. I'd PayPal you some money for this. Seriously. This is just amazing. It just is making everything seamless. I love your color choices all the way around, by the way. So everything looks really, really clean. It really does. So, and as long as things are working right with design, that you're working left, right, or you're working top down, and because most languages are left to right and top down. Looks great. So this copy SIG, I'm not. Well, let me ask you first. So do you have the charts? Are you looking at the SI charts? I'm not quite sure, like the man behind the curtain thing. But this is incredible. So yeah, I mean, obviously the voice is great. But this is what I'm zeroing in on all the way. We got to talk, man. Wow. Derek Bain just confirmed this is specific to Digital Diamond version 14 and Sports Illustrated, or can be used for other games. So yeah, great question. All right. The charts are built in. It copies the inputs. You can just paste it in. Dude, will you let me, I guess when you're ready, I would like to, we can make it a donation if you want to. I want this app. I really want this, and I will buy it. What's this? Oh, that's just when you do that. All right. So Derek is asking here, can this be used with other engines and or board game companion? So, Mr. Wrestling, you got your first big question here. So it copies the inputs, you can paste it in. That's nice. Okay. So I really like that. Okay. No cost. I got to give you, come on, man, at least something. All right. You're putting your time into this. All right. So, I just from right now, just from a design standpoint, I think I think you've got something right going on here. And by the way, thank you for getting the outs right, Mark. Mark, take note. um, so, I guess what I'm wondering about here is there any way for the dice roll, could you make this, maybe move this down, maybe take maybe 1/8 more real estate, make this window a little bit larger? I'm just thinking for guys with maybe not the greatest eyesight around, like, you know, perhaps. Again, these are just suggestions. I like how you're doing, right? So you're doing copying the input, and then you're working left to right as well next to that, and then you're moving down for the die roll. So everything is working as it should, left, right, and up and down. So from an instructional design standpoint, this is superb. It really, really is. Didn't do a good job of cropping the video. That's okay. We know what the top of the digital diamond screen looks like. So let's see. He also says here, just made it should be easy to update. That's why he's asking about. That's why I asked about FAQs. So, yeah. So, um, guys, throw in with me on this one too, because if this is something that Mr. Wrestling wants to develop, and this is something you're interested in. So again, Mr. Wrestling, would this be, how hard would it be for you to create this? Because I think that, and this is something, come on, man, I it's not like I'm a capitalist or anything, because I'm really not. I'm going to tell you guys my lifelong politics. I am a democratic socialist, but democratic socialists are also for people making money. So, not a communist, but I am a lefty. But that said, you make money. There's nothing wrong with that. So in your coding, and I know we're asking a lot right now, and you're trying to develop this for this and for Status Pro Advanced, but could you would you consider at some point creating something like this, because this is so elegant looking. It really is elegant looking, and it's, again, I have an advanced degree in this, and this is following all the rules, not only in your use of colors, but your placement. Again, the one thing, I think this needs to be a little bit larger. I think that you do have a little bit of wasted, just a little tiny, just a bit of wasted real estate here. But let's watch it play out another one too, because just want to see something. Okay, I see. Okay, so it's a movable window. So that were okay. Nice. Okay, let me stop right there. This is also good instructional design, and I have to use that term. That's what this is called. When a person like me is looking at this, we think of this as instructional design. Um, the color coding is excellent. It's excellent. So, do you remember when I was talking about the all the editors in Digital Diamond Baseball? I wish that Mark would code them. So, just looking at this right now, yep, if it's green, it's a good thing for the batter. If it's red, it's a bad thing for the batter, even on that basic level. Now, since this window does change in size, okay, and now I understand so why you need this, but at least for that initial, that result thing, if you could just somehow resize, well, now I understand maybe you can't resize this window so much. I'm just worried. I'm just wondering about this little part here, because I think the dice are really kind of important. If there's any way that you could somehow, I'm sorry, I keep bringing up all of this over here. I should see how the Pirates are doing. I keep forgetting when you scroll, that's what YouTube does. Kind of nicking. Okay, Ken Beaver says the goal was to get the entire box score visible. Yeah, and I get that. So, but could you do this? Could you do this? Would there be any way that you could make this where you could expand this salient information up here, because this is the most important part of the game, and then obviously you have the line score here, which looks great. But could you make a drop down where you can choose to have, because it's, again, this, damn it, I got to quit scrolling like that. I'm on your video, not mine. So such that you, because in this game you have to actually click box score to go look at it. So this is so cool that you can have it. You can see what's been going on in the game. That's really handy. But could you make it an option where you can say, oh, wait, I want to look what went on here, click down and then back up. It can collapse within here. I think it's great. I think it's great. And maybe I'm really just picking nits, my friend, because I really can't find any, I can find nothing I can criticize about it, only make suggestions. And that would be kind of the one, would just be this kind of real estate up here. I think this looks great. Again, you're working, so left to right, up, down. And so when you're, and you seem to have known this instinctively, if you don't actually have training in this, is when you're designing a user interface, you're designing a program, you're designing a website, the most important information, since again, I forget the exact percentage from my linguistics classes and things like that, but the largest percentage of languages in the world read left to right and up and down. And so the more important information has to reflect that. And that's what you've been doing all the way through. And so there's this logical progression that's moving down and moving left to right. Did I say right to left? Left to right. So, I don't, I mean, you know, I like to, so it's built around a 4K, move the D1000 up and it's smaller. Okay. Do we need this for Status Pro Advanced? So are you talking about, because I just want to make sure we're on the same page. Would you be talking about, and I keep, God bless it. Let's go on. We can get together on Discord soon. Okay, yeah. We'll definitely do that. Guys, questions. And I know you guys are all excited about the announcer. We'll play out more of the game since Mr. Wrestling doesn't mind. We'll let the game play out some more. But I'd like to really, what guys? What are your thoughts on this app? Do you need to? Let's let it play out some more batters, and let's kind of, as we're listening to the sound, let's watch what's happening over here. Okay, please.
Brunette turns, sets, and delivers. Deep fly ball to right field. Hinton is there, and he makes the catch for the out. 1 run, no hits, and 2 runners left on base for New York. And after 1, it's New York 1, California 0. Top of the second, New York 1, California 0. Due up for California, Hinton, Reichert, and Repose. Right-handed hitter Hinton checks in. Nobody gone here in the top of the second.
Okay, I want to back that up a little bit because I saw something really cool there. Because of Sports Illustrated Baseball is kind of an obscure game. And I never had a chance to play it when it first came out. This was a game from the early 1970s. And I want to give a shout out here to Mark Cohen just really, really quickly. Why I love the presentation so much about this is because whatever they were smoking back there in 1971, 70, 71, 72, whenever this came out in the early 70s, Sports Illustrated Baseball, and then died. Red green. I mean, you just, if you're a red green colorblind, you really couldn't play this game. But the colors, the shades, the hues of green and red were so garish in the original game. And if you look on Dombrov Baseball, which I dearly love the game, the colors are just way too vivid. So, Mark, you did a brilliant job in the presentation here. Tom Abbott, he said, just now getting here, what the heck is this? He says, wow, I what? Very cool. So, Mr. Wrestling, look what you've done. Look what you've done. So you can back up the video and catch up. So, Tom, we're looking at Digital Diamond Baseball, but, and this is version 14, Tom, and welcome to the family, but our Mr. Wrestling, I'm probably going to end up calling you cousin at some point. This is family. You guys aren't subscribers. You guys are a baseball family here. He's created, so with Digital Diamond Baseball, this year's edition, Mark Cohen, the developer, has integrated not only Status Pro Baseball, but Sports Illustrated Baseball. But what Mr. Wrestling has done here has created an Bat Resolver, he's calling it. So it's basically, he's created a board game companion for everything that you need right here to do Sports Illustrated Baseball. So that's what you're watching. Digital Diamond Baseball itself is available on Steam. It just dropped earlier this week. But this is not the vanilla game you're looking at. This is something that wow. All right, so watch what happens over here, because Mr. Wrestling said the charts are all built in. So this is super cool. Watch this. Just watch this whole area right here, guys.
After one, it's New York 1, California 0. Top of the second, New York 1, California 0. Due up for California, Hinton, Reichert, and Repose. Right-handed hitter Hinton checks in. Nobody gone here in the top of the second.
Right there. Look, look, right? So you're getting, this is huge. This is so important. Okay? Wow. And so, again, he's not only showing you, Mr. Wrestling did a great job, not only are you showing the player what's happening in colors, you're saying the color. Or you're right. In other words, you're writing it out here. Sorry, it's Sunday. I'm not going to try to be terribly grammatically correct at this point. And I don't know whether you did this on purpose or not. But again, I'm not colorblind, but there are people out there with it. And you're saying red, green. This is great. So 2 is in the tens place, then sums the other 2 die. Right, so yeah, so 24, and we can see that here. So you're getting, so again, most of us have probably never played. Again, the only Sports Illustrated Baseball I've played is on Dombrov Baseball. I suppose you can still find the game on eBay or whatever, but why would you at this point? This is brilliant. Okay, so we have this part. Now let's let it go ahead and play out a little bit more and watch what's going on here. So he's copying that in and just pasting it, so there's no typing. I'm all about that.
Stottlemyre turns, sets, and delivers. Big bouncer to second base. Up in the air to get it is Clark, but he can't get the ball out of his glove, and they're going to rule that as an error. Now at the plate, Reichert. Nobody out here in the top of the second. Hinton stretching his lead at first.
Okay, so Tom, first thing I need to make clear right away is the the voice you're hearing doesn't come with the game. So Mr. Wrestling is doing other wizardry as well. So this play-by-play you're hearing is not part of the game. Natively, it's not. But this, I'm trying to convince him to charge a fee for this because I want to buy it. So it's not available right now. He's still developing it. He programmed this thing. And yeah. Hey Clinton, is this cool or what? This is incredible. Yeah, so this is Sports Illustrated. Yep. I'm telling you, man. We can get together Discord, but just come on, think of a price, all right? Because I would really, 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 and in fact, look, I'll help you in this way too. Oh my God, no fee, friends and family. All right, look, I'm gonna do the hard sell here, and then we're gonna let this play out some more. Look, even if it's a nominal fee, man, even if it's $10, all right, and I would do a dedicated once a week broadcast of SI Baseball using your app, so that way people can see it. It generates interest, because I'm really, really, really chuffed, stoked, excited, whatever you want to call it, that SI Baseball is now on another platform too. You're very welcome, Tom, and I hope that you'll be, hanging out with us more. We have our own Discord, created by our cousin here, John DFW. But you guys have heard enough of my voice. I'm going to do this a little bit more, but I want to focus in on this because this is brilliant. So, as you guys know, with the board game companion in Digital Diamond Baseball, you have to type in the syntax. Well, Mr. Wrestling has taken care of that. So you don't have to type any syntax. Charts are built in. This is so cool. That's why I prefer Pocket Pennant Run and Game Pulse, Payoff Pitch, and Action PC, because I don't want to type syntax. This is sweet as hell. And I noticed this is resizable. I saw you scooching that over there, so that's good. All right, let's listen to the ball game for a little bit, and I'm going to watch this bit. So there, it gives you the dice roll up there, guys. SISF, he's copying it. Boom. So there's going to be a sacrifice fly.
Mantle is holding the runner close at first. Stottlemyre at the belt, now comes to the plate. Deep fly ball to center field. Pepitone is there, and he makes the catch for the out. Up next for California, Repose. One gone here in the top of the second. Hinton leads off first.
Okay. It's just brilliant. Okay, so there too, there's another thing that's built that he's built into this. So there is in SI Baseball, you will get plays that are in parentheses. So if you look down here, do you see where my mouse is? You'll see like that single, but it's in parentheses. So it's a manager's decision where you can decide, as far as sending runners, holding runners. So it gives you the option as manager to make on certain plays to make some decisions. Do you want to stretch that double to a triple, whatever? For more in-depth discussion of that, just look at Mark Cohen's tutorials on SI Baseball, and you can find that from just go to the community, and you'll find. And if you have it on Steam, you're going to find tons and tons of tutorials. Okay, so let's continue.
They are keeping a close eye on the runner at first. Stottlemyre cranks and fires. Hard line drive towards left field. Over the infield and dropping in front of Tresh for a base hit. A clean single for Repos. Hinton advances to second base. Rogers stands in and cocks his bat. Stottlemyre looks in. One gone here in the top of the second. Hinton takes his lead from second. Repos is parked on first.
Strike 3.
Stottlemyre sets.
Okay, I got to ask you another question, Mr. Wrestling, and this has to not with the announcer. I think you're doing the same with the announcer that you're doing with Out of the Park Baseball. But the what I'm especially interested in is, if you don't mind sharing, and then I do want to get back to this app because this is really, really, really the focus I'm focusing on. And yes, Tom, I definitely will. Let me drop that. Let me drop the invite to the Discord. Our Discord was created by John DFW, and it is a great hub, meeting place. And Tom, and thank you, Mr. Wrestling, for saying this is a cozy place. That's what we want it to be. This is not my channel. This is our place to hang out. Our, I mean all of us here, you included. So I do want to try, because I don't pretend to be a broadcaster. There are guys like Chris Slovic, Legend Sports Universe. Those guys they're baseball broadcasters. I'm the train wreck around here. And that's okay. Just people can come in here, hang out, have fun, and just celebrate this game, this hobby that we all love. So let's get you in here. I know that Discord has these goofy prove you're a human puzzles. So once you get past those, you're ready to rock and roll. So please, friend me up. Friend everybody up. I'm Beatles Eternally. Come in, wave, say hi, and welcome to the family. Doesn't cost you anything. How did you get the, because I know it's the Action PC sample. How are you getting this to constantly loop in here? Because you're also getting the reactive crowd. Or if this is witchery that you're not willing to share, that's okay. But boy, does it dress it up. And great work again. This is really, really so very much refined. What you're doing here is incredible. It's just incredible. Somebody's got to take your idea and say, all right, we want you to be on board with this thing. Show us what you did. And they should pay you. There I am, back to the money thing. But let's before we continue, would it behoove you? Do you think that you would be able to? Well, let me ask the question here first, guys. Yes or no? Would you be interested in an app like this that would be game agnostic, so that you could, let's say that if he had the time to do it, and I know this is asking a lot, but let's say that you could have this for APBA, for History Maker Baseball. I'm just thinking in terms of games that use dice, not necessarily, I mean, the FACs, I guess that's what he and I can talk about. But what do you guys think? I mean, because Derek had asked earlier, is this just specific to this? Can this be something that could be run elsewhere? Just as, because I think this is super elegant as it is. I like this. I've already said that. So just get some thoughts here. Sound is all on the app. It's been improved greatly since this video. Turned off the game sounds. Thank God. Because, yeah, the audio, again, Mark, I love your game, but the audio, the native audio in this game sucks really hard. It really does. That monophonic take me out to the ball game and all that. Yeesh. But luckily, you can put your own sound files in here. But this is brilliant. Okay, so Tom says yes. Tom said we gotta vote yes there. Be concerned about legal boundaries building in charts. Okay, all right. So that makes sense. That makes sense, yeah, because you definitely don't want to get in trouble with with APA. I get that. But that being said, would you be willing to make this? All right. So for this, because there aren't any legal issues, obviously, with Sports Illustrated Baseball, or Don Bravo would have been sued a long time ago. Mark Cohen would be sued. A guy named Mark Annison would be sued because he has a version of SI Baseball too. It's only like 8 seasons or 9 seasons, and I think he's doing these things more of an experiment, but he's a good developer. Could you create something that would have this? So in other words, even if somebody had their own church, so they would have to own Strat. Well, okay, Strat's they would have to own Strat, Apple, whatever. Just work with me here, or History Maker Baseball. So they have their own charts, but just to have this as and I know there's dice roller apps out there, but what I'm thinking here is, let's say they're using Digital Diamond as their board game companion, because I know that this comes from the charts built-in. I get that. I do get that. But if there would be a way to think about this in terms of, okay, this version is full-blown for Sports Illustrated Baseball, and you want to do one for Status Pro. But if at least you would kind of think about maybe down the line seeing what you could do with this. I realize the people for games like APA and stuff, because you can't build in the charts. You could for National Pastime Next Generation Plus, however, because that's free. So you could do it with that game. I'm really kind of thinking out loud right now. I just noticed here that you're also getting the Digital Diamond Baseball roll here too. Why didn't I even notice that before? So that's pretty cool. All right, let's go on. You guys let's listen to a few innings, okay? Without the charts built in, it's not very useful. Okay, fair enough. Talk to Cyrus D'Amato or Bill Stoff at Skeetersoft. Well, there you go. Mr. Wrestling, there you go. So are you so for National Pastime 3, Clinton, would this be something? I know you'd like to roll up your own dice, but do you think that people in the National Pastime community would welcome something like this if Cyrus or Bill would give Mr. Wrestling their blessing to go ahead and use their charts and develop an app for their game? What do you think? I'm not asking you to speak for them. This is just your opinion. Because, man, Mr. Wrestling, I think you have something brilliant right here. Really, really, really brilliant. All right. I'm going to shut up for a while, and we're going to let this game play out a couple innings unless I see something that makes me go, wow, which probably will. Here we go.
And deals. In there for strike 3. And Rogers will take a slow walk back to the dugout. Coming up to the plate is Knoop, 2 down. Hinton leads off second. Repos leads off first. Stottlemyre turns, sets, and delivers. Fly ball to left field. No chance for Tresh. He finally chases it down, and Knoop is headed towards second for a double. Scoring from second is Hinton. Repos advances to third. Brunet moves into the box now. 2 down here in the top of the second. Knoop takes his lead from second. Repos is parked on third.
Strike 3.
Stottlemyre turns, sets, and delivers. Strike 3 called. Brunet got a pretty good pitch there, but couldn't get the bat off his shoulder. 1 run, 2 hits, and 2 runners left on base for California. And after 1.5, it's California 1, New York 1. Bottom of the second, California 1, New York 1. Due up for New York, Fernandez, Michael, and Stottlemyre. Fernandez going through his ritual outside the box. Now he's ready and digs in. Nobody gone here in the bottom of the second.
Strike 3.
Brunette ready. Here he comes. Swung on. Wow, he chased a bad ball there. And down he goes, strike 3. And that brings up the switch hitting Michael. One down here in the bottom of the second. And Brunei steps off the mound for a moment. He is ready now. The pitch. High pop up to the catcher. And an easy out for Rogers. Stottlemyre will be the hitter, 2 out.
So the other thing I really, really like here too is that you're keeping the last play result up there. That might seem like a small thing, but to me that's huge. I like that. I like to see that up there. Nice big letters too. Good design choice and good decision.
Strike 3.
Brunette gets a sign from Rogers. The pitch. And Stottlemyre swings right through it. Down he goes. No runs, no hits, and nobody left on base for New York. We've played 2, and the score is California 1, New York 1. Top of the third, California 1, New York 1. Due up for California.
Okay, Mr. Wrestling says the game is slower due to wanting top-notch audio call. I can make it easily real-time with a lower quality TTS. Yeah? So, okay, now I do have to ask the big question, because I know you explained to me how you were doing this in out-of-the-park baseball. Now, for this, so let's say, right, that people want to do this. What else do they need? Because let me tell you this. I always say that the Ernie Harwell voice in Baseball for Windows is a great draw, but it's a deep baseball game. Okay, this one's easier. Nice. Baseball for Windows is a very deep baseball game. To me, it's the frosting on the tart, the icing on the cake, whatever, that you have Ernie Harwell calling the game. And I'm telling you right now that I'm so immersed in this game, listening to this, and oh my God. So, do people need to think Paul at the Crew? And Paul's here, was here. I think I'm going to shoot a message to Craig Harris and say, will you please check out the latest broadcast I did? No, it's not. Well, although I did answer a pocket pennant run, Craig strikes me. If not Craig, Paul. I think Paul would be somebody, because Paul's been really, he's pushed for so many innovations and pushed the envelope of pocket pennant run far beyond what Craig and Matt had originally intended it to be. And I can't speak for Craig, nor can I speak for Paul, but I would think they would like this, especially depending upon the implementation, and I think that would bring it to another level. So Mr. Wrestling, what would somebody need to be like subscriber to 11 Labs to do this, to have the full voice and everything? Because I know a lot of folks are really honing in on the voice thing. I get that. I'm more about this over here, but I do love listening to the announcer. But is there so just that's for full disclosure. So we're not talking about what you're seeing here, but what you're hearing over here. And I don't know whether how that works. Anyway, we've got 19 people that are looking for some baseball here. So we're going to let it place a few more, and we're going to stop it just occasionally. So for anybody interested, right now there's 19 of you watching. This is Digital Diamond Baseball 14, but this is on the proverbial steroids. This is an app over here that was written by our own Mr. Wrestling, and it's freaking brilliant. Freaking brilliant. Okay, Microsoft Voices will work for free. Yeah, the Microsoft Voices unfortunately don't have the the inflection though. So okay, so 11 Labs. Okay. So guys, if you want the voice, you would have to subscribe to 11 Labs, which is the industry standard for this kind of thing. But if you don't want the sound, you still got this. This is great. No, I mean, I'll pass it along. And Paul always catches these Clintons, so definitely. All right, guys, let's play a little bit more here, huh? Or watch a little bit more. If you have questions, put them up in the chat for Mr. Wrestling or whatever. We're going to put them to work typing here today.
Shaw, Fregosi, and Mincher. That'll bring up Shaw. So far today, he is 0 for 1. Nobody down. Stottlemyre cranks and fires. Hard line drive towards third base. Too hot to handle, and that's going to whiz right on by and into left field for a base hit. Tresh is on it quickly. A single for Shaw. Fregosi stands in. So far today, he is 0 for 1. Nobody out. Shaw is edging off the bag at first.
Dwayne, welcome in. Tell me this doesn't look sexy. This Digital Diamond 14. Look at this, man. Is this not cool? So Dwayne Martz he's kind of our community guru on all things Digital Diamond Baseball. So if you're new to Digital Diamond Baseball, you subscribe to Dwayne's channel anyhow. But if you're new to Digital Diamond Baseball, Dwayne has done so much with this game, and really, for my money, he's kind of the go-to. He's going to teach you about, font scaling, all kinds of stuff. And always great projects. So welcome in, my friend. Yeah, it is very cool. Look at this. This is for and so it's Mr. Wrestling who's in here. And he wants to do this also for Status Pro, but it's super damn cool. Let's go ahead and let it play some more.
They are keeping a close eye on the runner at first. Stottlemyre rocks and fires, and that's low for ball 4. Shaw advances to second base. Mincher ready to face off against Stottlemyre.
Always,
staring
Dwayne.
him down.
Always.
Nobody gone here in the top of the third. Shaw is on at second. Fregosi is edging off the bag at first.
And I'm remiss, and please go subscribe to Mr. Wrestling's channel, because you guys also have to see the wizardry he's done with Out of the Park Baseball as well. Here I am, just going off about the app and everything. Please subscribe to that channel. It's great stuff.
Stottlemyre rocks and fires. Ground ball to Clark. He fields it, fires it to Michael, who fires it to Mantle for a double play. Shaw advances to third. Hinton will be the batter. 2 gone here in the top of the third. Shaw is parked on third. The pitch is on the way, lined hard, and that ball is absolutely hammered to right field. No chance for Robinson. He'll have to play it off the wall. That is going to be a double for Hinton. Scoring from third is Shaw. Reichert stands in and cocks his bat. Stottlemyre looks in, 2 away. Hinton leads off second. Stottlemyre turns, sets, and delivers. Ground ball to third base, fielded there by Ferraro, and he throws to Mantle for the out. 1 run, 2 hits, and 1 man left on base for California. 2.5 in the books, and it's California 2, New York 1. Bottom of the third, California 2, New York 1. Due up for New York, Clark, Ferraro, and Mantle. Clark is up there now. Nobody down here in the bottom of the third. Brunet turns, sets, and delivers. Deep fly ball to right field. Hinton is there, and he makes the catch for the out. Now Ferraro strolls to the plate. 1 gone. Brunet cranks and fires. Deep fly ball to right field. Hinton is there, and he makes the catch for the out. Mantle taking a moment to clean his spikes, and now he steps in to face Brunet. 2 out here in the bottom of the third. Brunet cranks and fires. Deep fly ball to left field. Reichert is there, and he makes the catch for the out. No runs, no hits, and nobody left on base for New York. 3 in the books, and it's California 2, New York 1. Top of the fourth, California 2, New York 1. Due up for California, Repos, Rogers, and Knoop. Standing in to hit is Repos. So far today, he is 1 for 1. Nobody down here in the top of the fourth.
Strike 3.
Stottlemyre at the belt. Now comes to the plate. Waved at and missed. Repos was fooled badly and goes down swinging. The umpire brushes off the plate as Rogers gets set to hit. 1 gone. Stottlemyre at the belt. Now comes to the plate. Ground ball to second base. Fielded there by Clark. And he throws to Mantle for the out. Knoop at the plate. 2 gone.
Strike 3.
Stottlemyre shakes off a few signs. He is ready now. The pitch. Strike 3 swinging. And Knoop will take a seat. No runs, no hits, and nobody left on base for California. 3.5 in the books, and it's California 2, New York 1. Bottom of the fourth, California 2, New York 1. Due up for New York, Tresh, Robinson, and Pepitone. Coming up to the plate is Tresh, nobody out. And Tresh, tired of waiting, and steps out of the box. He steps back in now, and Brunet delivers. Ground ball to shortstop, fielded there by Fregosi, and he throws to Mincher for the out. And that brings up the right-hander Robinson. So far today, he is 0 for 1 with 1 RBI. 1 gone here in the bottom of the fourth.
three.
Brunet gets a sign from Rogers. The pitch. Strike three called. Back to the bench goes Robinson. Hitting next is Pepitone. So far today he is 0 for 1. 2 out. Brunet at the belt, now comes to the plate. Deep fly ball to right field. Hinton is there, and he makes the catch for the out. No runs, no hits, and nobody left on base for New York. And after 4, it's California 2, New York 1. Top of the 5th, California 2, New York 1. Due up for California, Brunet, Shaw, and Fregosi. Brunet steps into the box. So far today, he is 0 for 1. Nobody gone.
Strike three.
Stottlemyre sets and deals. Swat and miss, Brunet fans. Shaw stands in and cocks his bat. Stottlemyre looks in. One gone. And Shaw, tired of waiting, and steps out of the box. He steps back in now, and Stottlemyre delivers. High pop-up to the catcher, and an easy out for Fernandez. Settling into the box is Fregosi. So far today, he is 0 for 1. 2 away here in the top of the 5th. Stottlemyre sets and deals. Hard shot down the first base line. Off the bag and into right field. That'll slow it down just enough for Robinson to cut it off, holding Fregosi to a single. Now batting, Mincher. 2 gone here in the top of the 5th. Fregosi is edging off the bag at first.
Guys, I'll be right back. I'm going to let the game autoplay. You're all moderators in here, so I'll be right back. I hope you guys are having a great time. This is damn brilliant. And then Mr. Wrestling, I do got a question for you about 11 Labs when I come back. All right, guys, enjoy. I'll be back in a few minutes.
Mantle is holding the runner close at first. Stottlemyre turns, sets, and delivers. Ground ball to shortstop. Fielded there by Michael. And he throws to Clark for the out. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 man left on base for California. 4.5 in the books, and it's California 2, New York 1. Bottom of the 5th, California 2, New York 1. Due up for New York, Fernandez, Michael, and Stottlemyre. Coming up next, Fernandez. So far today, he is 0 for 1. Nobody down.
Strike three.
Brunet sets and deals. A swing and a miss. That takes care of Fernandez. Michael will be the batter. So far today, he is 0 for 1. 1 gone here at the bottom of the 5th. And Brunet steps off the mound for a moment. He is ready now. The pitch. Fly ball to left field. Reichert is there, and he makes the catch for the out. Up next for New York, Stottlemyre. So far today, he is 0 for 1. 2 down. Brunei steps off the mound for a moment. He is ready now. The pitch. Hard line drive to left field. Reichert comes in to take it on a hop. Single for Stottlemyre. Clark is up there now. 2 down here in the bottom of the 5th. Stottlemyre is stretching his lead at first.
Hot dog, yeah. Hot dog. Get your hot dog. Hot dog. Hot dog.
They are keeping a close eye on the runner at first. Brunei turns, sets, and delivers. Fly ball to right field. Hinton is there, and he makes the catch for the out. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 man left on base for New York. And after 5, it's California 2, New York 1. Top of the 6th, California 2, New York 1. Due up for California, Hinton, Reichert, and Repose. That will bring up the righty Hinton. So far today, he is 1 for 2 with 1 RBI. Nobody down here in the top of the 6th. Stottlemyre turns, sets, and delivers. Deep fly ball to center field. Pepitone is there, and he makes the catch for the out. Reichert chatting with Fernandez behind the plate for a moment. Now he's ready. 1 gone here in the top of the 6th.
I'm back.
Stottlemyre cranks and fires, hit on the ground and into center field. Coming over to get it is Pepitone, a single for Reichert. Coming up to the plate is Repose. So far today he is 1 for 2. 1 gone. Reichert leads off first. They are keeping a close eye on the runner at first. Stottlemyre turns, sets, and delivers. High pop up to second base, and an easy out for Clark. Rogers moves into the box now. So far today, he is 0 for 2. 2 down, Reichert stretching his lead at first. Mantle is holding the runner close at first. Stottlemyre turns, sets, and delivers. Ground ball to first base. Mantle fields it and beats Rogers to first for the out. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 man left on base for California. And after 5.5, it's California 2, New York 1. Bottom of the 6th, California 2, New York 1. Due up for New York, Ferraro, Mantle, and Tresh. Ferraro is next. So far today, he is 0 for 2. No.
Okay, so I'm going to bring up the 11 Labs site here for a second. So, Mr. Wrestling, because I was using a different thing like some time ago, just mucking about with it. Which of these do you suggest? Oh, so what can you currently do with Digital Diamond? I'll show you. But I need to ask you this question here, because I know there's going to be some people interested in the voice thing. I am too. So which plan are you using? I'm guessing you're probably using this one, the Pro plan. You're on Pro. Oof. Okay. Yeah, because you're getting that really high quality audio. Just budget wise, brother. Wow. I couldn't do that. Is Creator pretty good? So Creator is possible. I mean, look, Baseball for Windows, that's like not the best fidelity in the world, but been playing that game since 1995. So $11 per month, that's not bad. That is not bad. I'm not worried about the commission licensing. I'm assuming as well that this would give me the tutorial how this gets fed and fed back, I guess, right? Because the game's running in sort of real time. But you and I can get on that Discord. You need the API and okay, all right. So we can talk about that because I know there's going to be some people, and I know you'll go over this on your channel, and I like to be able to on mine. Okay, so I will keep that in mind. Thank you, because I saw some other ones here like Noise AI and stuff like that. But if I'm going to spend the money, 11 Labs is going to be the one, you know. And I know everybody is trying to kind of jump into the game and stuff like that, but 11 Labs is really the industry standard. And what I've learned from being both a magician and a musician is you get what you pay for, and sometimes you got to pay name brands. So my hardware synthesizers I use are from the big names: Roland, Korg, Yamaha, and Kurzweil, the big four. And for my virtual studio technology, you know, I'm using Omnisphere, Native Instruments, and all that stuff. They're expensive. You know, IK Multimedia is another. But for music creation and things like that, and especially when I was gigging, you don't compromise. And so I know 11 Labs is superb. All right, so what I'm going to do right now, and then we'll get back to it, guys. We'll get back to this game if Mr. Wrestling doesn't mind us streaming some more of it. But for now, we're going to go ahead and let me figure out what the hell I'm doing here. I'm going to stop just the stream, and then or stop the screen share, and be right back. Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do is bring up Digital Diamond Baseball so that we can answer Mr. Wrestling's question. And so I'll have a screen share just in a minute. Okay. Oh yeah, and by the way, I'll just go ahead and share my screen now. I said that I'm going to be starting a spin-off channel. And it's going to be devoted to non-baseball games, because I've been looking at my different game library. Steam library has almost 4,000 games in it now. And I've just got to think there's going to be some games people in this community would really love to play that are non-baseball games. And I just picked this up yesterday. I'm surprised I didn't know anything about it. BeamNG Drive. Everything I've watched in this looks incredible. It's like this free open world, or it's not free, this open world driving experience where you do what you want, and thousands upon thousands of mods. But we're going to be so permit me, I never ask people to like and subscribe, but permit me just for a minute or so to kind of pimp what I'm going to be doing. We'll be doing all kinds of different games, everything from things like this to Age of Wonders 4, No Man's Sky, Diablo. But we're also going to I also want to be highlighting maybe some games that maybe some of you have never played or never heard of. So Rebel Galaxy, for instance. We're going to do some Grim Dawn, because there's a big expansion coming out for this. Some great roguelikes like Approaching Infinity. Do some Darkest Dungeon on here. Windward, which is a game probably many of you don't know about, but Windward is a fantastic game, and its sequel. The Monsters Den games, these are really good. Talisman, of course. Beat Hazard can't, because unfortunately this is a brilliant game. We'll talk about this. So I hope you guys, and it's going to be the same deal where, kind of, it's going to be more of a hangout place, but I did want to start and you can see this is a pretty damn big Steam library. And so I thought it would be fun, because a lot of times in our broadcasts, we do get into talking about non-baseball games. And so there's some really, really good stuff out there that I think you guys might. Card Battlers, I love these. So Arcanium is a lot of fun. To, who knows, whatever. some 4X games. There's a Lord of the Rings card game that we can do. The Worms games are awesome. Yeah, so hopefully you'll join me. I don't know when I'm going to start that, but I'll let you guys know when. Because I originally said, oh yeah, if I start one, I'm not going to tell you guys. But I thought that's really stupid. I'd like to keep the community going, and I know that we're out there. We're not, many of us are not just baseball gamers. We play other stuff too. And it would be a lot of, I think, a lot of fun. And maybe you might find something that you'd be like, hey, this is really cool. I want to play it. Yeah. Oh, well, you can't see my screen because I forgot to do this. Shit. I'm in Egypt. Let me just add it. So there you go. This is like, I'm already, I don't know how far down I scrolled, but this is really, 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 I got to start making more use of this Steam library, and why not? And so I know there's games on here that I think people would be really interested in. I have a pretty eclectic in terms of games. I kind of go all over the place. So this is a brilliant game for the king and whatever. So I'll let you know. I'll let you know when we're going to do it. And it's going to be kind of the same format as here. We just kind of hang out and have fun. And if there's something, hey, that's really cool. Nice. And right now the Steam Summer Sale is going on. All right. Public service announcement out of the way. Let's go to Digital Diamond 14 as it is right now. Oh, there we go. And let's play. Well, we're not going to play. You'll see what we're going to do. Dwayne is, you thought your backlog, dude, Mr. Wrestling, dude, you and I can talk about backlogs, talk about trading war stories. Yeah, it's awful. It's awful. I'm going to hide this banner for a second because I don't want people to mistake what I'm showing now with your brilliance up there. Okay, so let's get back to comments. All right, let's just do I guess this Great Teams League. I think I've been setting this up. I think. Let me make sure. I haven't been setting up the ballparks yet, but I have been setting up the. I'm setting up the logos right now. So we're just gonna play an exhibition game here, just so that you can see what you can do with Status Pro, Mr. Wrestling. All right. So if you don't have if you haven't bought one of the advanced seasons from Derek Beckner, okay. This is what you'll see. All right, so let's do just the Orioles against, I don't know, whatever. The Orioles against the Big Red Machine. All right, so down here we can choose these game modes. So for Board Game Companion, which is where your app is really going to work really well, you've got, the Status Pro 4th edition split cards, and then Advanced, and then there's, of course, SI Baseball, which you know. If you don't have them, this is what you got to deal with. And so I'm going to play with this, the game engine, split cards, set lineups, not worried about this lineups. Whatever they come out as, I'm fine. This is a pretty good lineup generator, I have to say. And let's play ball. Okay. So this is what you see, and what I like to do with this is make sure in the menu, when I'm playing the game, that I am seeing the show engine details for Status Pro, okay? So Clinton says he has all your logos, including Federal League. Love them. So Mr. Wrestling tells Dwayne, watch several videos of yours over and over, and Dwayne's still couldn't get a good sense. So are you talking in terms of, oh yeah, more Warhammer? Oh, there's going to be lots of Warhammer. Wait till Warhammer 40K Total War comes out. That's probably going to dominate the new channel. I can't wait for that one. So if you're asking, let me go back up here. What else? Where am I? Ugh. This was way back there. So what can you currently do with for Status Pro? Yeah. So so it looks like the facts don't show up. So you have just the player cards. But if you have the seasons, then you can. So basically what's going to happen here is Jack Bellingham's going to deal. Boy, I feel really inadequate now after that announcing. So we get that, but then we also get, this is, in other words, you're basically getting the result right here from the engine. So that's what you can do with Status Pro with this. Also, what you can do is, if we go back to that team editor, you can actually print Status Pro cards, which look really, really, really nice. But for whatever reason, I guess, no fast action cards, so you don't actually get to see them flip or whatever. This is with the splits, and yeah, pretty much that's it. But I'm happy with it. It's cool. Yeah. Now there was the 2022. Let's go back to this so you guys can see the difference. Let's just get out of this game and open a different library. 2022. And shit, how do we do this now? Yeah, so Ron Juckett, and you spoke, and he thought you could use the fast action cards. I think only show up in Samuel. Are you still here? Because I forget how you told me how to do this. Was it import? I had to import something, and I'll show you guys. So, well, no, it's not. It's not actually a companion to the board. It's not just that. So let me go back to this other one that we were doing. Okay. So basically what it's doing in this case here, let's go to, again, I'm just going to pick whatever two teams, I don't care, Arizona and 59 Chicago White Sox. Okay. So you've got all these different game engines, right? So, we'll start with the actual Digital Diamond, and then I'll show you with Status Pro, and why I'm saying it's natively, it's not just a board game companion. Boy, it's hard to look at this now, yeah. So here we go. And I thought I had the dice rolls visible. Hang on a second. Oh, so it still thinks it's, yeah. So hold on a second. These things happened at the worst possible moment. Traditional roll visible. Sorry about that, gents. Okay, there we go. So this is which, by the way, guys, Digital Diamond Baseball is a good baseball game on its own. All right, here we go. Tony Womack, former Pirate. Okay. So you see how this is playing out right now as Digital Diamond Baseball. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and switch. We're going to switch this up, and we're going to just do the Status Pro 4th edition. It doesn't matter whether we use the split cards or not. So let's just do it this way. Okay, and click OK. Now everything changes up. So basically now the engine internally is no longer playing Digital Diamond Baseball. Hey, Joe Birdie says Beatles 2 days in a row. How about that? I know. Thank you for coming in 2 days in a row, Joe. Right, no, so I get that, right. So you don't see. So Joe, what I'm going to do, I'm going to ask both Andy and VL if I have their permission to zip everything up and post them on the Discord. Because a lot of guys are just not feeling the love for Flickr, and I totally get that. So stay tuned. I'll be putting the announcement in there. I mean, I don't want to do that without their permission. But if it's cool with them, I'll zip everything up and put them in there. They're brilliant ballparks. So yeah, you're absolutely right. So you're not playing Status Pro Baseball. The engine is. So now we're outside of. Now we're not in Digital Diamond anymore. Digital Diamond is just a show. It's playing it. All right. So, and you'll see the difference in the play result here in a second. All right. And not even any sound. So there, you can see right here. There. So it's not using its own game engine. Now it's using Status Pro Baseball. I can't switch to SI Baseball because I don't. This wouldn't work with SI Baseball. This isn't implemented. If Mark would do it in the way that Richard Dombrov does, which any season you create there, that program puts everything into SI format. But back. Okay. He did. I don't. He works like crazy. So Joe, there might be stuff up there since from yesterday. Back to hockey. There's a live tournament running all places. Belfast. I'm just glad they put the Flyers out in Belfast. So yeah, there is no input for which I know a lot of people were very, very disappointed in that. So there is no input in this. You're basically playing, or it's playing the Status Pro engine. So to be able to actually do that input, so let's go to Options Basic. You can see here that the only way that that's going to work is if you select one of the board game companions. So now we're going to do Status Pro 4th Edition split cards as a board game companion. Okay. There. Now you can now there's everything. Now you've got the fast action card, you've got the pitcher card, all that kind of stuff. Obviously, I don't have any of the advanced seasons, so I can't really do much else at this point. So it's going to ask, for the swing. I don't know. I mean, I'm only going to be guessing at this point. I have no idea. Enter, dice roll or game board result. So I don't know. This is let's just give McEnany a single. Right, and that's it. Now the other way I believe that we can do this. All right, so Phillips is up. Let's say that he walks. So I'm going to click on this BB. Oh, there we go. And when you click on that, look at that. You don't even have to type in. There's no syntax on this either. All right, so Nellie Fox is up. And again, apologies, guys. But anything in blue here, you can click on. Okay, so like down here. So I do like that too. And runners now on second and third. So that's it. Oh, no, I did not get it, Joe. I'll check it out. Thank you. Or I didn't look. I'm sorry. I went out and was doing some magic last night at a club. So before I get 11 Labs need to go to and proper side and see Alchemists and Druids give you their blessing. Yeah, that's true. That's true. That is very, very true. So, did I forget to... Thank you. I'm turning into Bernie Strom here. Oh, my God. And Bernie, I love you, but it drives me nuts. Bernie forgets to click hide, and now I'm forgetting to. So, yeah, and this I would be rolling the dice, and what's nice about this as it stands, but I still like what you're doing with SI Baseball, anything that's in blue you can click on as a play result, which is real nice. And, again, having those advanced charts, and that would be really nice. But Derek Beckner has put a lot of time, blood, sweat, and tears, I am sure, into that. And I know a lot of people were very disappointed because the original press for this year was going to be full implementation. Well, it wasn't a lie. Status Pro 4th edition is, but there was all Status Pro's Advanced is going to be in the game, and there was an assumption for many of us that indeed we would have the whole ball of wax. But that's not the case, and that's fine. I mean, we're not talking a game like this isn't out of the park baseball where Mark could work a deal with Derek and say, okay, you're going to get a percentage of the sales. This is not going to sell in the same way that out of the park baseball is, and that's not a knock on this one. Bernie found some statistics and these showing that out of the park baseball by far is the most played digital baseball game. There are more people that play out of the park baseball than play all the other digital baseball games combined. So Um, you know, which it'd be too bad because it'd be really nice to just pay that price and then, but the proceeds from the sales from this just wouldn't be enough. And I get that. I mean, I'm just conjecturing here. Okay. 1872 National Association. I definitely will. I have two emails, so, or maybe I have three. There's one I haven't checked in ages. Yeah, it just drives me nuts, and I'm like, I used to type Bernie. You should click, but I just don't anymore. So yeah, I mean, so at this point, for me, even though I can't, because I love flipping the fast action cards more because I'm a sleight of hand guy and I mainly work with cards. So it's just that, again, that visceral feeling, if you will, of flipping the cards and seeing the play result, and many, many, many not wasted, but many, many months playing this at the Student Union in Penn State when I was an undergrad. So the only way you get manual input here is right? So, because if we go back to the other one, again, all of this loveliness goes away. And you will watch as I make the fast action card disappear. Now, yes, I can still roll the dice and play Status Pro without advance and still click on these. So what we got, Landis is up there. Just click. So see, clicking outcomes to Status Pro cards is only available when using the board game companion. So that's it. So this is the implementation of Status Pro Baseball as it stands, without all that. And it would have been nice if they would actually make these not clickable, because you can't, I get it. It's cool. That's it. Can you add your own teams and leagues in Action PC Baseball? But it's in another platform. You can. I don't know how to do that. Steve Tate would be the guy to ask for that one. Mr. Wrestling said he's off to the lab. He'll be up in the Discord. Thanks for chatting love. Oh, you bet, brother. Excellent stuff, man. So, yeah, because I'm going to be, we're going to talk about your app and all that stuff. So, I'll shoot you a message, brother. Thank you. Well, so 1880 is already in Action PC Baseball. So you would just need to figure out how to put in 1871 to 1879. Action PC starts at 1880, Clinton. So you're good there. Wow. So this has been one hell of a fun broadcast, guys. Please subscribe to Mr. Wrestling's channel. You got to see what he's done. You can continue that game that we've been watching, and he's using 11 labs. But really pay attention to that app for Sports Illustrated Baseball, because it's brilliant. And we're going to go ahead and just jump out of this little exhibition game, just because I was trying to do something here for illustrative purposes. So, by the way, a nice thing about Digital Diamond is, you can get kind of like all kinds of helps and stuff like that. Even gives you, you click on board game commands if you don't know where you're going. Then any road will lead you there, sang George Harrison. So there's all this goodness here. So I've got to say that Mark Cohen knows how to do a manual. This is old school, as it should be. As it should be. And it even gives you, like, there's some special syntax for specific games. So Pocket Pennant Run, Season Ticket, Inside Pitch, and SI Baseball. But an excellent product. But what Mr. Wrestling has done in terms of the SI component of it thus far is brilliant. It really, really is. The number 2 Beatle after John. Oh my God. Paul, how you doing? So, the first question I'm going to ask you, and you're going to say you don't know, is do you think Craig's going to release Pocket Pennant Run tonight? Maybe, kind of, sort of. Second question, and the most important though, is really most important, is how's Mrs. Paul? Because I don't give a toss how you're doing. The number 2 Beatle after it. George was great. The Beatles wouldn't have been the Beatles. They were greater than the sum of their parts. And their solo careers prove that. Okay, so it's coming today, definitely. All right. That's good to know. Of course, today, so it's what, 10 p.m. where you are, just after 10. So your today and my today are very different. Although, in a little while, it'll be 9 p.m. for me. So she is very nag-worthy. Oh, my God. So, Paul, what are you doing these days? What kind of, what projects? You're doing all kinds of craziness. I want to look into your PDF splitter because I want to play some of these games that I haven't been able to play. But I have to get with Microsoft and figure out why the hell I subscribe to Microsoft and all their stuff, but I can't get the actual Excel. So right now there's stuff I can't do until, and reaching Microsoft support is impossible. New house, living our best life. Nice. Yeah, you sent it to me, but I need Excel to use it. So I have to get Excel, and then I can go from there. Yep, I saw that. But I have to get Excel. And I do have it. I subscribe to it. It's just when I got this, on my old PC, I had to re-image it and stuff like that, and I have this new PC. For some reason, Microsoft, it's just, I have to go download Excel, and it's trying to charge me for it. It's like, no, you bastards, I pay you $14 a month for Word and Excel, and, well, nobody uses Microsoft Access, but if you did, it's there. Whatever. So, it is what it is. Let me jump out of this. Because I got to finish doing what I'm doing. But the PDF splitter is yet another thing from the great mind of Paul Fay. So if you guys, you got some games that you want to play, but you don't have, if you're like me and you don't have a printer, or you don't want to just burn out a lot of printer ink and stuff like that, this is a way for any games that you have the PDF for, you can play them. And it splits up the PDFs. It's a really, really nice workflow, play flow, whatever it is. You do need Microsoft Excel for it, which I've just got to somehow pray for me, guys. Say a novena if you're Catholic. Do me a couple rounds in the old prayer rope if you're Orthodox. If you're an evangelical, give me an altar blessing, altar call, or something. As I try to, and any other faith, whatever it is you do, please. I got to try to reach Microsoft support and figure out, okay, I'm paying for this. Why don't I have Excel and Word and stuff like that? No. Oh my God, Paul, we got it. Well, we'll talk. We'll have to talk offline. I didn't want you to do that, man. Rope. Don't tempt me, he says. Oh my God. Paul, I do have another question for you. So Pocket Pennant Run comes out tonight, and we both know I'm butterfly brained. We both know I'm an Aegis. Am I going to be able to figure out how defensive substitutions work in that game? Will I be able to figure it out? I can't believe this. Oh my God. We'll go on. Yeah, he says. Yeah. So because tried that the other night. Remember, and I was telling you about that, and you said, oh yeah, that was fixed. So hopefully, because it wasn't working, and you kind of need that defensive substitution. But looking forward. Do you have another question too? I'm gonna make you multitask. So earlier, I was showing what Mr. Wrestling has done with Digital Diamond 14. This is a brilliant app, but also sort of play-by-play from using the 11 Labs thing, and I was just, maybe we could talk about that again, just without being online, because I think it might be something. I don't actually. Clinton brought this up. He said he was just thinking, he was wondering if you guys would be interested in something like that for Pocket Pennant Run. like a sort of announcer integration. I don't know how it would work, but I think it'd be really cool. I think it was a great suggestion on his part. So we're perfectly didn't for me the other day. It just didn't work. Okay, thank you. All right. I don't know if it was something because it was like substitute, and it wouldn't let me do it. And I don't remember why, but that's okay. That's fine. Looking forward to it nonetheless because I love the game. So here, I'll make it easy here, Paul. What Clinton is talking about is this. I'm going to show you something super, super cool. All right. So watch. No. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Okay. Here we go.
Nobody gone.
So, Paul, what you're looking at here, I think you saw it earlier. So you know that Digital Diamond Baseball, one of the which I love this year, is the implementation of Sports Illustrated Baseball. But what Mr. Wrestling did was he made this sexy beast over here. This is like Kate Beckinsale, almost Kate Beckinsale sexy, right? So dice roller, the whole thing, and of course this is 11 Labs voice integration going on over here. But this is especially cool. But it was just suggested. There, I'll put it to you that way. If down the road, I wonder, and I know this is using text input, so I'm just wondering how maybe some of these things could work. I don't know. You're doing all these amazing things with Baseball HQ and everything, but this is fun. This is fun. This is Digital Diamond Baseball, but on a whole new level. So that's where we are. That's where we are. So, yeah. And this had a lot of viewership, so I think I'll just start doing this. Just do 11 labs, and I don't think I'm going to call any more games. I mean, this is Mr. Wrestling's channel, so yeah, good stuff. Okay, guys. Well, hopefully, yeah, isn't it? Isn't that super great? What, and you see, I mean, you see how it works too. I mean, he just designed this so well. So here's the thing: is that an add-on available? I'm trying to convince him to sell the damn thing. I'm like, dude, I'll buy it from you, even just for a nominal fee, because he's asking for my assistance on it for, the instructional design part of it and some suggestions and whatever. And I'm like, and then Derek Bain, who was in here earlier, asked, well, is this something that could be used with other board games? I think he's on to something really, really good here. Because if he could adapt this to other games, and he did mention that he would be worried about certain games, and because the charts for SI in this, Paul, yeah, I know, I'm ready to, I'm ready to like, take my money, dude. The charts are already built into the app, so it's not just a dice roller, Paul. The charts for SI are built right in. So watch what happens here.
Brunet turns, sets, and delivers. Ground ball to third base. Fielded there by Shaw, and he throws to Mincher for the out. Mantle steps in. One down here in the bottom of the sixth.
That's just elegant as hell. It is elegant as hell. And Derek was the first guy to ask. He said, could this be? And so, I mean, you could. I mean, if I wanted to, and in fact, I might just try it. I could use this with Dombrov Baseball, because Dombrov Baseball is Sports Illustrated Baseball. So you could use this in your game simulator. Your brain is ticking now. I knew as soon as you saw this, because I know you stopped in here for a moment and then left, but I thought, oh, I'm hoping, because I know you catch these broadcasts, and I'm just thinking Paul would love this. So he's like, no, I'm going to give you a copy. He goes, no, come on, let me at least give you $10. It's worth more than that, but I'm hoping that if there are some games that game developers wouldn't mind, so like maybe some older games or whatever. Uh, so I'm thinking like in terms of time travel baseball, because that's a free game. I don't think they would have any trouble with their charts. I'm even thinking uh, what, of course, there's no manual entry for Crash's Stat Pro Baseball, but this is really, really, really nice. It's a great job he did, huh? So no, it's all good. It's all good. He's in our Discord, Mr. Wrestling 2. So just message him out there. He's in our Discord and he's pretty active in there too. So um, as I was unsuccessful, and maybe you can do the better sell. Give him the Scouts or Cypriot approach, because it's brilliant. Just the way that he has designed this thing is really, really, really nice. And again, I'm going to single Derek out again, Derek Bain. This guy knows everything there is to know about our hobby, and he jumped on this as like, is this something that can be used with other games? I think there'd be great interest in this, and I'm hoping that he'll consider, Mr. Wrestling will consider developing this more for other games if possible. He wanted to do it for Status Pro in the game, but as of course as we saw, you already have to have the right, the advanced or Derek Beckner's seasons, but he wants to develop this for that as well. So you're flipping the cards and whatever. And the one thing I really love about this is you don't have to type in any syntax for SI baseball, because right now you do have to type in SI and then the play result. But here you just, well, you didn't see it, but if you looked earlier, there was that copy, and then boom, just copy paste, copy paste. If I don't have to type, I don't want to type. Can't be arsed. I just can't be arsed. Yeah, Mr. Wrestling 2, he's in our Discord. So Joe Murdy saying, well, I'm thinking of it, Beatles, the guy that did this National Association 1872 tells me that the stats are real. However, due to the fact that actions years only go to 1876. So the actions years go to 1876 in terms of park effects. Seasons available only go back to 1880. Listen to us talking about only. Joe Murdy is also, he's a 19th century baseball fan, much like Ken Castro. And Joe's into dead ball baseball too. But these guys go back even a little further than I do. I know enough about 19th century baseball to be dangerous, and the only reason I'm not doing any 19th century baseball right now, because I wanted to test Strat Max and see how well it handles 19th century baseball, is if I don't got Ken Castro or Joe Murdy here, I'm not going to do 19th century baseball. That's something, and I've got the big fat 19th century encyclopedia of 19th century baseball, and I love it, but that's an era I'm still learning. So dead ball, I feel so comfortable with dead ball and baseball up to the 50s, and then whatever. It's touch and go from there. But I'll definitely check it out, because, as you know, Baseball for Windows goes back to 1871. Out of the Park goes back to 1871. Strat Max goes back to 1871. So, yeah. Yes, the Ned McGreevy Discord, Paul. Yes. Crash sent me a nice email about a possible Diamonds and Dice podcast. So I want to try to arrange it with Bernie and with Crash, and we will be coming up. Hopefully, will be maybe the August one. Will be a daytime Diamonds and Dice on a Sunday if we can get Crash on here, because he's a daytime kind of guy. He's not a vampire. Neither is Bernie. So, but Bernie at least works with me a little bit, and will do 8 o'clock his time or 7 o'clock his time. But so look for that. So hopefully later tonight, if Pocket Pennant Run hiccups and it's not released, we're going to do Game 5 of the 1971 ALCS decided game between the Oakland A's and Detroit Tigers to see who faces the Pittsburgh Pirates in our 1971 World Series. And that we're going to be then going into legacy mode from that after the World Series into 1972 to see how that feature really works in Action PC, because I know there's been a lot of interest in that. And I want to see how well that works. And manual entry bit of it works very, very nicely. But I'm not so sure about the legacy thing. I've heard things that the schedule's bizarre and stuff like that. But I do want to try it. I think it'll be fun, and it's a great way to do some alternate history. So either way, we'll be back with some baseball tonight. And it's either going to be Action PC or Pocket Pennant Run. And thank you. We had a great crowd in here today, and a lot of people really, as they should be, impressed by all of this. So I'm going to thank everybody for continuing to leave comments in the videos and allowing me to take these sporadic Sundays to answer them as opposed to type them out, because I like the personal touch that way. And that is pretty much it. Love to this entire family, to all of you. Again, this is not my channel. This is our family. This is our place. And we have a new member of our family. We got to go way back up here. Way back up to give him just one more, attaboy welcome in. And let's just get him here. Way back in the before times. Way back in the before times. I don't want to get his... I get to know everybody's names, but it's going to take me a minute. So you can listen to me just... So, welcome in a new family member, Tom Abbott. So Tom Abbott hanging out with us. I hope to see more of Tom in here. Thank you very much, Tom, for coming in. All right, man. Yeah, I love you too, Paul. And you've written to Mr. Wrestling. So thank you, everybody. Really made my Sunday. And hopefully see you this evening for some more madness. Spiders win game number 15, says Philip Reynolds. So he's going to rewrite history and try to be a better manager for the 1899 Cleveland Spiders. That is awesome. That is awesome. All right. Yeah, Clinton, thank you to everybody. I love you guys. Everybody's helped build this. Let's keep it rocking. What a great community. Please join the Discord, and please support not only content creators, but folks that aren't. Get involved, talk about their projects with them. It's a lot of fun. We're building something collectively here. That's amazing. Till the next time, till this evening, either Pocket Pennant Run or Action PC, we will see you around the batting cage.